That's why I'm liking that advanced part.
Yeah. So hello, everybody. Welcome. Good to be back. Thanks so much to Chris for letting me take a week off and sit by the pool in Las Vegas for a day or two and try to recharge the batteries a little bit. It's been a long year, and I know it's been a long year for everybody else. So we're going to talk, and we switched up a little bit today. I tried to be as positive as possible in that email, but honestly, I know about this much about Seesaw. So instead of me trying to learn it all today, I found a good guest presenter, and we'll have him join us on the 30th. But we did know what we were doing with Unicheck, so we moved that up to today. So we're going to talk about Unicheck, and instead of me continually talking, and my co-host today, Chris Hott, she's gonna play the role of the mean teacher today, and I'm gonna play the role of the rebellious, sometimes not student today. And so we'll get a good idea of how Unicheck works. But I'll admit Denise here. We'll start off with a little video straight from Unicheck's website. I thought it was just cute and clever, and so I hope you enjoy this short little introduction.
Mimicry is an evolved resemblance between an organism and another object. This unique ability serves to blend in with the surroundings. Stop academic mimicry. Unicheck.
There you go. So why? I always like to start with the why you need to use these tools, or why you need to consider them. So why Unicheck? With pretty much the world's knowledge at every student's fingertips, how can we determine if the work they're doing is their own work, if they're doing the right research, writing, revising sort of workflow, or if they're just looking for a quick and easy solution? And it seems like kids more and more are looking for that quick and easy solution. Of course, I haven't been in the classroom for a long time, so I don't know how bad or prevalent the problem is, but I know it is because people pay a lot of money for tools like Unicheck and Turnitin. If you've heard of Turnitin before for plagiarism detection, Unicheck is very, very similar. In fact, I was going to make a slide with a map on it to show which districts had which tools. But I know Millard has Unicheck. I know Kane has Unicheck. Chris, who else has access to?
Those are the only two that have Unicheck,
Okay.
and then Turnitin, Iron has.
Iron has Turnitin. Okay.
And Beaver has Turnitin. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Beaver has Turnitin. Yeah.
Just one teacher.
But it's like 3 times plus more expensive Turnitin is for something very similar. So, but if you don't have Unicheck and you like it, talk to your district technology folks, because it only is $1 per student per year without any setup fees. And it works right inside of Canvas. So what does it offer? It's a search and recognition tool to look for similarities, citations, and reference in text. This is a new feature. Some kids are getting around plagiarism detection by replacing characters from English from another alphabet. So like Cyrillic Latin A's instead of the regular A's, they can just do a find and replace and throw in those extra little vowels and things like that. And it looks like they've changed the spelling, or they've changed the functionality of everything. But really, they're just getting more and more creative on how to pass off someone else's work as their own. It will check against the open internet, so web pages indexed by Yahoo and Google, open source repositories, and then it also builds an internal library to check against, and I'll talk more about that in a second. We contracted with Unicheck for a statewide, not really statewide license, but a statewide purchasing agreement, so that we could all get a good deal on it. But since they knew we had Utah's online library, we put into the contract that they could check against Gale and against EBSCO databases, so students could go in and find those things. And I put those asterisks there because I wasn't really sure how well that works, but we're going to get a firsthand report on how well it did, because I did a little bit of cheating today. I did a little bit of plagiarism. So let's see. And I know this is an issue. We've got students passing papers around to each other, or, you know, if you've got a brother that went through the class the year prior to you, then you can just take all of his stuff and just turn it in. But as you use Unicheck, it builds what's called an institutional library for your district. So it's not just per school or per teacher, but it builds that library to check work against as well. So not only does it scan everything out on the internet, but it checks against things that have been submitted through Unicheck in previous years. But just be careful. If you assign, if you give a writing assignment where students are turning in a rough draft and then a final draft as separate assignments, if you have that rough draft go into the institutional library, then students will be flagged for cheating against themselves or cheating from themselves. So only use that, you know, add those final papers to your institutional library. But it's just a checkbox when you set up the assignment. Chris will show you that here in a bit. And the results are presented as a similarity report or a score. And you get right inside of SpeedGrader. You don't have to go out to another website. Right inside of SpeedGrader in Canvas, you get a little color code score. And the more red the score is, the more the work has been, the less original the work is, I guess I should say. And the more green the score is, the more original it is. So we'll look at some, we'll look at a bunch of different scores here. But if you want to see the specifics where those sources were likely lifted from, or the percent matches, things like that, you just click on the score and it opens up a really rich interface with lots of great information on that similarity report. And we'll take a look at that too. So let's jump in. I'm going to hide my, or not, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we'll let teacher Chris jump in and show you a couple of assignments that she gave to her one student class of me and see how it goes.
All right, so today we're going to demonstrate some of these Unicheck tools here. So we created an assignment called Unicheck Demo, and so Clint already did these, so we're going to look at what it looks like from the teacher view after it's been done. Then we'll go through and show how to set one up. So as a teacher, if I look, I've assigned this out to students. I've put my instructions on there. Now you would probably put more explicit instructions. And then I've created a rubric, and I see, oh, look, one student has submitted. So now I can go to SpeedGrader, and then that submission pops up.
I'm not seeing your screen.
Oh, you're not?
I see the assignments, but I don't see did you open SpeedGrader in another?
Yeah, well, I did, that's why I did it all. Let me stop sharing and share again. That's why I didn't do the custom view this time. Okay. Now you can see Snorkeling.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the assignment, Snorkeling, that Clint put in. And if we look right here, it's got the score that he mentioned. Okay, so if I click on that, now it's going to take me, so I'm probably going to stop sharing again.
It was coming up. I don't know, for some reason.
I don't know why I did that. Yeah. Okay.
At least I saw the new tab open.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, how's that look? Now you can see Snorkeling and see how it's yellow. That's what those colors that Clint mentioned. So this one says you found 74% of this in Wikipedia with 23 sources. So we have some other tools up here that we can use. We can use comment. So if we want to make a comment on anything, we can do that there. So right now we're matching whatever they find. We could also look for quotes that they find, and then we can actually exclude things. If you wanted to exclude quotes or other items, then you could exclude them right there. But let's go back to the matches, and we'll say all sources, so Wikipedia. So this tells me now he got 74% from this article and here and here. So if we look at it, and if we click on this compare, it's going to actually take us to the source. I'm going to hit compare. Now, did you see that new screen open up?
Yep.
Should
we see it.
two screens?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So now here is the Clint's article, and here is the article on Wikipedia. And look at this cool little arrow. So it'll tell you, if I click on a part, it's going to tell you right where it matches up. So you can see exactly what that student copied. Okay.
So I at least made a little effort and changed a few of the words.
But yeah, you didn't fool it. Yeah, you still got busted.
I know.
Okay.
Dang it.
Yep. So if we go back to this, go back to this one, and we look at that report again. Okay. So again, we can pick any of those sources, or we could just view the source, and then it's going to take us outside, and it's going to take us right to that link. Okay.
Yep.
So now you can go to the actual document that they looked at. And then when we talked about excluding, if you wanted to exclude a certain source, then you could do that there. So maybe you did allow them to do certain things. Okay. And so we cover everything there, Clint?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Okay, so I can just go back to the assignment, and then I can come here and I can use the rubric to grade it if I want to. I can add a comment right here. Remember, we can also add a video or an audio comment, and then I can grade it. I'm just going to give him a grade out of 10.
Oh, you're
and
way
so,
too kind.
and then I'm going to submit. And now if I go to Gradebook.
And coming very soon, you'd be able to reassign that
Yes.
paper right within SpeedGrader. So if you want the kid to try it again.
Yep. And you can resubmit it. Yeah. With a note, say, hey, no, this isn't going to work. You need to redo it. And that's a little bit different from in the assignment where you can have unlimited submissions. This is actually making them redo it. So you can see the scores right there on, on what they, or the color at least. And in the link that we'll share later, it kind of tells you what these different colors mean, because there's different meanings, whether it was copied from another source or whether it was a quote or a text change. I thought that text change that Clint mentioned was really cool because like he said,
I forgot to. I should have.
Yeah, I was looking on the site and I found it too. There, I think I've got one report that kind of shows it. So, okay. So if we go back, and this was Clint uploaded a Google Doc. Yeah, he did a Google Doc on that one. So then we did another one, and this was the databases one that he mentioned. So here, same thing. We had our instructions. We did a rubric, and we've got one submission to grade. So we go look at SpeedGrader.
That loaded fine.
Yep. And so this is his assignment. And then if I click on this one's red. Boy, you were just going to town, weren't you? Okay. And so
I changed a couple things.
So again, we can do that same thing. We can go back and compare it, and we can look at the differences. We can go look at the original sources if we wanted to.
And this one I pulled straight from EBSCO. So I put in the title, and then I changed maybe a couple of words in the second to last paragraph.
Yeah, so that's, look at that. Yeah, just pulled it from the PDF. That's pretty slick. So then we can just go back to the assignment, and then we can do the same thing. We can look at the rubric, and then we can give them a grade. And I'm going to give them a 1 out of that, because at least you turned something in, right? Okay.
Wait.
I know. But you can see how much more details you could get, especially let's go. I know. I want you to pass, because if you fail, I'm going to be all alone here.
Okay.
So this is where you could put comments. If you click on the comment and click on add comment, there we go. And then right here, I can make a comment. I can say public. I can make it private so they'll only I see it. So I'm going to say check Clint's work better next time. Okay. And then I can save it. So that's just a comment for me. But if I wanted to add a comment to the student, then I could come in here and make it public and then type. And so he's going to see that right in his Unicheck platform. And Clint's going to show you how that looks. Clint, you want to show him how that looks from your side now, or do you want to do the next assignment first?
Make the assignment, and then I can show what this looks like on the students.
Right. Okay, so now any questions so far on those two?
I don't see anything in the chat. Anybody have any questions?
Okay, so now let's go ahead and make a new assignment.
show you how to use it.
Okay. And so the assignment name, what were we going to call this one, Clint? I forgot already.
This one's original work. We're going to see how original my my writing can be.
Okay. So
It's on.
I'm just going to say right away.
Personalized learning.
Oh, that's right. Personalized learning. So we'll give you 20 points for this.
Okay.
Now, this right here is where it could get tricky because we talk about this being an external tool. And so most times when we tell teachers an external tool, it's natural. You want to come here and you want to look for the external tool, because what's going to happen is you're going to come up here and you're going to see Unicheck right there. And you're going to think, oh, that's how I do it, right? Just like the Google LTI or some of the other things we've showed you. Doesn't work that way. Okay, so this one works a little bit differently. You want this just to be online. Okay, and right now you don't see anything that says, oh, this, it does have the plagiarism. Let me, if I take this and this off, see, we don't have that plagiarism right now. But as soon as I say either a text or a file upload, now that plagiarism review window pops up. So these are eligible for plagiarism review. Now I'm going to check Unicheck here. And so now we have some of those settings that we talked about before. Add submissions to the institutional library. And this is where, as Clint mentioned, if students are doing a draft and you want them to check their own work, then you would turn this off. Okay, that way it's not going to count. So if they put the draft in and then next week they put the final paper in, it's not going to compare it to that draft. So you want to have this off until it's their final assignment. So you may want to make one assignment is going to be draft writing, revising, and then have your final assignment. You can do it that way too. This is excluding the quotes. If you want them to put quotes in, then you can exclude that.
Yeah, if they're actually writing correctly and quoting things correctly and using footnotes and things like that, then it will adjust the score based on that. But if there's no references or anything, they're trying to pass it off as their own, then it'll ding them.
Right, exactly. And then excluding the sources, and then so you can adjust these for the sources. Maybe you want a limit of 2 words or 20, whatever you want that to be. And then show the report to students. You have a few options. You can say after the assignment is graded. So maybe for your final, you might want to do that. After the due date, you might. Never, but we're going to use immediately because I want Clint to have that feedback so that he can see what he needs to correct. And really, if you know, the first couple times the kids do this, they're going to work harder at doing it correctly than trying to fake it, right? Or at least we hope so.
Yep.
We're not.
Oh, we lost it, Chris.
You lost me?
Now you're back.
Oh, huh.
It says your bandwidth's slow. Are you on Wi-Fi?
No, it's
Okay.
Yeah, I got that. My internet connection is unstable. No, I'm connected.
Maybe we haven't paid our bills. Oh well, muscle
Okay.
through.
Okay, so I'm going to save and publish this. Okay, now you can see we've got the assignment there, and now we want Clint's going to show how he's going to submit it, what it looks like from his end. So I'm going to stop sharing, and Clint's going to take over. He's going to be the student.
So far, so good. Everyone with us? Cat, thumbs up.
Got it?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share this window. And you're seeing my screen? Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to go back and check my assignments here. I'm going to see my very generous teacher give me points on those other 2. But I'm going to go to this original writing assignment. And right away. So I come to submit assignment. And then I need to choose where this is coming from. And in Kane, we have 4 different ways to submit a Google document.
We need to fix that.
Yeah, the Google Drive, I think, is what I've been using.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a text entry on this one because I've got it right here. So this is original work, I hope. It gives me this tiny little box to write in.
Yeah, but it's still, yeah, there you go. If you copy it and paste it, it works.
Yeah, if you're copying and pasting, it works fine.
It's got a word count. Yeah.
And this is what I really like. I can put in a comment to my teacher, but when this is an option, I have to say, this is my own original work. And so your students are, you know, putting their word, their reputation on the line. And so, you know, if they say that this is my own work and you go back and show them a score of 97, then you've got some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So I'll submit
Academic
my
is-
assignment. And it takes anywhere from, maybe a minute at the most. But I should be able to see within pretty soon of turning it in. If I click on submission details, okay, it hasn't done it yet. But if I reload that, I'll see a little, let me go back. Submitted.
Yeah,
But if I go in, I'll get a little, once it's done its thing, I'll get a little color blob right here. And so if it's green, it means it's good. If it's yellow or orange or red, that means I might be in trouble. So let's see. There we go. Check that out. Blue. Blue right there. So I guess it is blue and not green. So what's my score? 0%.
Yay,
Full
Clint.
original work from me. There you go. And I get to see pretty much the same interface as the teacher does. I can reply to comments. I can look up and see, wow, this is where I pulled things from, or I can see, which is, identical, or what I need to maybe reword or stuff like that. So pretty cool stuff, works well.
Why don't you go back to one of the other assignments that had a lot of that markup on it and
Okay.
show what it looks like
Looks
from the
nice.
student. But you're right, it is pretty much the same.
Okay, so I go to submission details, and there's my yellow box. And again, it just opens up a new tab, and I see pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
So if I click here, it'll say, you stole this from Wikipedia. Yeah, I did. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah, I just like that side-by-side comparison.
Yeah.
And this is a really good teaching thing where you could go in and say, yeah, this paragraph you lifted. You didn't lift the whole, I didn't lift the whole article, but there's bits that I lifted, straight word from word.
And I like these little blue pop-ups. You probably haven't seen a lot of those because we've already gone through this and clicked them off, got it. But that's really good tips for students when they're coming in. It gives them little tips on what they need to do or what they're looking at. And there's some for teachers too. And there was one I looked at when I was looking around. There was a red circle right in the middle, and that's that text one. And it showed two exact things, but the text was all changed, and they just used a different font.
Yeah.
And it picked up. That amazes me that it does that.
But see, this last line was completely original. I love to snorkel. It's so much fun. All right. So that puts us at 3:54. Got time for questions, answers. I'll stop my share. Oh, I still have my slides though. Hold on. Let me share my screen again. Go back to the slides. So that's the demo. Present. And I will give you the link to these slides. So there's a link to the instructor guide for the students. And then what do the colors mean? This is just kind of a quick little, takes you through all interpreting the results. So blue, 0% matches, so you're shooting for blue. Green is 1 to 24%, yellow, orange, and red. So the more red it is, the worse it is. And so this bit right here, let me zoom into that. That's what that character replacement looks like. So they went in and substituted O's or zeros for O's or something like that, just trying to fool you. So those resources are there. Let me put in these links for you.
While you're doing that, Clint, let me screen share one time, and I want to show one other thing. So this is actually what it looks like at the district account. So you can also use Turnitin as a standalone. So if you were a teacher and your district person added you as a teacher, you could just you could upload a document right there. But this is what they can see. And so if we go look at the overall library, this would be like the whole district. And if we just look here, I forgot which one. There's one that kind of shows you, that was the wrong one. There's one that shows you all of the reports. And once you know, I forgot which one I was looking at.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. So anyways, it would show you all of the ones that have run through Canvas. So as a district, you could see what percentage of similarity is being used, plagiarism, and what's being used throughout your whole district. So this might be helpful.
Oh,
I think it's this one. There we go. So right here, these are
Trying to get
folders by
myself-
teachers.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
I can't. Did something.
I can hear you. So anyways, those would
Plug
show
my-
you on a district level. So hopefully that might be helpful as well. I'll go ahead and stop sharing. And let's see if we have any questions.
Okay, I'm back.
I hear you, Liesel.
All right. Sorry.
Good stuff, huh?
When we
I
make-
don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use this mic.
You're fine.
I saw your thumbs up. I thought that was good.
I am listening, I promise.
I know you are. So,
So Chris, when we make the
But-
links pretty in a Google Doc, they don't.
I just,
copy and paste
yep. I just saw that. I went to go copy and paste and saw
Okay.
that. And yeah, I
it.
won't make
Here
them
they
pretty
are. Here's
next
those
time.
links. And the slides are, let's see, that I can put in there for you.
Yeah.
So
if this is something that you want to use, I would be happy to help work with you more, but please share this, especially with your language arts teachers, because don't have a lot of usage on this, because I know you guys are just so overwhelmed with so many
Yeah.
tools and tech things. But just know that this is a great tool, especially for language arts teachers, librarians, anybody you know. Feel free to share the video with them.
This is amazing. Thanks, you guys.
you bet.
Most welcome.
Absolutely.
Can you
And then
send us the link for those websites?
just did. They're in the chat.
I know, but can you send them in my email? Because I don't know how to do the chat.
Copy paste. Yeah.
Yeah, we could.
I'll put them in the Midas notes.
But just Liesel, so if you just click on the chat down at the bottom of your screen, if you hover over the bottom of your screen, you see participants and chat, click on that chat and a little window will pop up.
I can see that, but I mean, can I keep those for another time?
Oh, yeah, what you could do is just copy and paste them all, or you can click on them and open them up, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, Clint will put the links in the Midas that he sends out. And the links for the Unicheck are on that last slide, and you'll get a copy of that slide.
Yeah, the slides have, if you only open up one link, it's that bit.ly/39TTT Zoom. Those are the slides, and all the links are in there. But please do sign the roll so that you will get the Midas points and you'll get the notes when I send them out. Make sure you sign that roll, and we'll
And is
we'll
the
get you
role
all
in the
connected.
chat?
Pardon?
Is the role in the chat?
Yes, ma'am. TTT roll form and then a forms link. Turnitin works very similarly. We don't have access to a teacher account, but it does work very similarly.
I've got access to account, but I don't think we have.
Yeah,
time
we
for
haven't
it.
done a lot of training on
Yeah.
it. We've done some training on Unicheck.
Yeah, it's more complex. It's bigger, and there's a few things that are different, but for basic use, this is great. The one thing, if you do peer reviews, Turnitin doesn't do that, but it's like 5 times more expensive per student. Plus, what was it, like $700 a school to set up or something
Per year.
per year?
So
Yeah,
it's 3 times more per student per year. And then it's $700 per building per year to keep it, or for setup fees, the setup
Yeah.
fees. They're just
Well, I'm
gouging.
wondering,
Yeah, no,
because-
it's fine. And
well, I'm just
there's lots of
wondering-
universities that
what-
are actually switching from Turnitin to Unicheck. But
Yeah.
but Turnitin has purchased Unicheck. So who knows what's going to happen in a couple of years, but we've got this pricing contract for I think at least 2 more years. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I'm just wondering, because I'm noticing my Snow College class, they've got Turnitin submissions.
Okay,
Where the kids that do most of my writing is in that class. And so I was
Gotcha.
just wondering how it worked.
very
'Cause I
similar.
know both
Yeah.
campuses and see the one on ours, but I see that Snow College uses Turnitin. So
Yeah,
So that-
very, very similar. You know, as for the basics, it's just like I said, the Turnitin has just a little bit more bells and whistles. But honestly, the teachers that I've seen use the Turnitin don't even use all of those.
Yeah.
We just did a comparison with a teacher who their school was thinking about going to Unicheck. So we kind of did a deep dive into some of the differences. And after she looked at it, says, we're going to Unicheck, you know, it's,
Yeah,
So
so on
I
a
can see
K-12
where-
level,
yeah.
Unicheck does what you need it to do. So,
okay. That's what I wanted to know, because if I decide to click on this for college, it might be kind of good for the kids. So
Mhm. Oh, definitely,
tear the
yeah.
heck out of them.
yeah. Okay.
Right.
Thanks.
Any other questions on this or anything else, technology or heartburns or things like that that we can help you with? Let me check the roll, make sure you guys are, that's coming in. A couple of you. Okay. Appreciate it. And I will stop the recording.